Welcome back to our course on modern architecture, and this is a series of lectures on the architect Louis Kahn. So, my name is John Lobel. I'm professor of architecture at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York, and you can find out more about me at my website, johnlobel.com. I'm the author of a book on visionary creativity, and I'm the author of a book on Louis Kahn's philosophy between silence and light. You can find that online. So we're going to do this in 7 brief segments, and the first one will be overview, which is where we are right now. So Louis Kahn was born in 1901, died in 1974. He was both a teacher and a practitioner. So think of architects, today. Some are only practitioners, some are mostly teachers, some do both. Kahn equally did both. Now, we're going to begin with the context in which Kahn began his career, and at that point we'll look at the Seagram building and Mies van der Rohe. He was sort of the dominant force in architecture in the mid-1950s when Kahn starts to get a focus on what he's going to do. Kahn's answer to Mies and to the Seagram building is the medical towers at the University of Pennsylvania, and we're going to look at that in some detail because it really indicates how Kahn thinks about putting a building together. He does a series of very important buildings. One of the most famous is the Salk Institute in La Jolla, California, the Kimball Art Museum in Fort Worth, Texas, and each one of these buildings is an absolute gem. They're among the most important American modern architectural buildings. And here in Kimball, you see the raw concrete against the travertine. We'll talk about what he's doing there. One of his most famous buildings, and I'll tell you why momentarily, is the National Assembly building in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. And here Kahn's reintroducing the centers of buildings. This is the library at Felix Exeter Academy in New Hampshire, and kind of a dull brick box on the outside, a magnificent concrete space on the inside. One of his last buildings, completed after his death, is the Yale Center for British Art in New Haven, Connecticut. Very interestingly, we can see in the corner here one of Kahn's first important buildings. And to take this picture, we're standing on the roof of Paul Rudolph's Art and Architecture building. So, very important architectural corner at Yale. Magnificent interior in the building. Then we're going to look at Kahn's philosophy, and one of the things Kahn does is totally rethink architecture. In doing that, he rethinks reality. So we'll talk a bit about Kahn's philosophy. Now, if you're interested in giving more thought to Kahn, finding out more about him, if you go online, you'll see dozens and dozens of books. So here are the 3 most important. So I'll just tout my own book. It's really a presentation of Kahn's idealized lecture. Kahn didn't write, but he lectured and he said the same things. And what I did is sort of edit the ideal Kahn lecture in a book, Between Silence and Light. The definitive textbook on Kahn is Louis I. Kahn by Robert McCarter, and it is extremely thorough. And then there was a major exhibit of Kahn's work some years back. The catalog for that is a big scholarly tome, magnificent pictures and essays by important scholars, Louis I. Kahn in the realm of architecture. And then 2 just kind of cool books. One is Light is the Theme. It's one of many books on just one of Kahn's buildings. So this one happens to be on the Kimball Museum, but there are others on others. And then a lot of Kahn's really magnificent ideas didn't get built. So Kent Larson built them in the computer. And so this is Louis I. Kahn Unbuilt Masterworks by Kent Larson, showing some of the buildings that you can get built. So that's an overview, and our next brief lecture will be biographical about Kahn's life.